Chuck Todd is NBC's political director and moderator of Meet the Press. Chuck, good morning. Great to see you. Boy, what a surreal scene there yesterday with the President of the United States in front of the golf club membership, jeering the media, cheering him as he talked about these executive actions he's taking. I guess bottom line here, Chuck, does he have the authority to do this? Even some Republicans have come out already publicly and said, wait, you can't do this. We control the purse strings. Is this money going to get out the door to people who need it?
Yeah, that was, by the way, a bizarre Marie Antoinette moment of sorts at the golf club there. Look, that's the question, is whether he does have this legal authority. It certainly doesn't look like it in the Constitution. A president does not have taxing authority on his own. A president does not have appropriation on his own. Look, we've seen he can have, in an emergency, he does have some power to move money around a little bit. But even if he's successful with his $400 a month extension here, what's not clear is how that money actually gets into the pockets of those that need it, because he's asking states to pick up the first 100. And if we read this correctly, if the state doesn't do the first 100, then the federal government might not match the other 300. So, look, I do think yesterday was more public relations than anything else. And at the end of the day, they have to come together. There's too many folks on Capitol Hill, whether it's Democrats in some vulnerable districts or Republicans in the Senate who feel vulnerable, that need a bigger deal than this. This feels like there's too many holes in it, Willie, for it to stick.
Yeah, and those conversations on Capitol Hill have been completely stalled. That's why the president felt the need to take that action yesterday. Chuck, let's talk, as Kelly laid it out, about the speculation around Joe Biden's pick to become vice president. Obviously, Senator Kamala Harris, Susan Rice have been atop the list for some time. Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, in the conversation after we learned she visited Delaware last weekend. Who's the odds-on favorite here, and who's your wild card?
Well, look, I guess you still have to say Kamala Harris feels like the odds-on favorite because she checks sort of a lot of conventional boxes, having run before, being a U.S. senator, having sort of a little more of a national persona. But, you know, there was something that David Axelrod, President Obama's longtime chief strategist, tweeted that has sort of been the topic of conversation in Biden world, which is who's behind all this Oppo research dumps that have really impacted Karen Bass and Susan Rice. And the implication is that, is it supporters of Kamala Harris? And while she's not involved with it, are people sort of, quote, helping her in a way that actually is hurting her in the Biden inner circle? And I think that's the open question there. Look, I am surprised. I think there is some concern on Susan Rice. Even some, I think Obama folks are worried what kind of attack she could come under. I think there is some concerns about not picking a woman of color. I still wonder if we've overlooked Val Demings, you know, who was sort of hot on the list a couple months ago. I wonder if we've all overlooked her a little bit. I wonder if she's going to get a second look, Willie.
Yeah, she's very impressive, and we could know this week, maybe even by tomorrow. Chuck, thanks so much. We'll look for much more this morning on Meet the Press, where the topic is politics and plague. Among Chuck's guests, Senate Minority Whip Dick Durbin of Illinois.